I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon, and we will grow. And I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Aries Ascendant. For Aries Ascendant, Venus rules your second house and seventh house. When Venus goes in Taurus zodiac sign, it goes into your second house. And when Venus is going in the Dvitiya Bhav, which is the house of family, house of finances, you have to understand that this Venus carries the energy of equilibrium and wants to ensure that you are secured, you are in the safe space. The problem, Venus is combust. Jupiter is in Taurus. So that means there is a clash of expectations and it will give you security, but you may not immediately understand. Say for example, you have received a certain, say, X number of amount in the profit in your business. But according to you, this is not enough. But after 3 months, you will realize that it was just sufficient to solve a problem that might have come or was supposed to come in the future. So you will think that it was great to have this sum of money and it was not less than that. So if this is not giving in surplus, this will give you sufficient. So have patience. You need to focus on the positive side of this transit. Speak beautifully. People who are chef, people who teach cooking, people who teach creative arts and creative sciences, people who are involved in the FMCG product, people who are involved in the plant and herbal life, someone who is involved in the herbal Ayurvedic medicines. You know, all these sectors will grow when Venus goes in the second house. Also, someone who is good at speech, someone who is good at behavior, someone who is teaching all these things will see the positive side. But whenever Shukra goes combust, it means all the bhautik sukh, that means all the physical manifestations of life, kind of for a certain amount of time, becomes invisible. For details, watch my Venus combust video. The link will be in the description box. And when you see Venus transit in Taurus coming into picture, although Venus is coming in its own zodiac sign, your fifth lord is taking over. So this can be binge eating, and because of that, weight fluctuations. This can be thyroid issues for the elderly, but also it can be relationship issues, or you are trying to be very aggressive in your relationship stand. You are trying to defend yourself. You are trying very aggressive to prove a point in the family, which means this is the time to go slow, follow the path of peace, and bring equilibrium. Otherwise, your marriage can be affected. Taurus. Now, if you're a Taurus ascendant or even Taurus moon sign, Venus rules your first and sixth house. This means you and your enemies both are controlled by Shukra. So you will see that enemy know you in a much better manner. And sometimes your enemies and the obstacles can catch you by surprise. That is why you are a zodiac sign that thinks a lot before taking a step. You want to have a concrete platform because you don't want to fall down, which is good. And that is exactly what Venus will do. Your circumstances will remind you of the loopholes. Your enemies are going to tell you beforehand what they are going to do. So you prepare yourself. But now bring Sun on top of this. Sun is the fourth lord. I've explained this in my Venus combust video. Because this is your fourth lord taking over your sixth lord, you may ignore your health in search of happiness. This is a time when people can be indulgent in alcohol or materialistic activities, ignoring the dharma or adharma aspect of it. So follow the dharmic aspect, that means what is right and what is supposed to be done. Otherwise, Venus coming in the first house will impact your personality. Now take the positive side of it, bring Sun, Venus and Jupiter together. This evolves you in a much beautiful state. Sun provides you the necessary confidence, Jupiter gives you the necessary knowledge, and Venus gives you that finesse. So it's a great time for business. It's a great time for someone who wants to work on yourself, your physical personality, your attitude. You have to have that resilience, that ability to keep on moving in spite of all the obstacles or hurdles that come your way. Because it is the first house, it will impact you. And if it impacts you, your mind, it percolates into every single area of your life. That is why ascendant transit, a planet transiting the ascendant, is so important. Venus is also going to drag the 6th house to the 1st house. So you might take loan for personal uses, and a lot of people who are Taurus moon sign are going to think about taking personal loan for fulfilling their desires. Be very careful, because this means that your aspirations are strong, but your practical angle may be a bit weak. So better to think practically before taking a call. Otherwise, you may be in a financial distress as soon as Jupiter and Venus comes out of combustion. Also, Mars will move in the 12th house, indicating expenses. So spending money on yourself by removing the toxicity, decluttering yourself is a good idea. But then you have to understand your limitations, and you have to also follow financial rules and regulations of your life. If you manage that, you will be in a much better state. And for someone who is struggling from finances, chanting Shri Suktam and praying to Ma Mahalakshmi is a very good remedy. Gemini ascendant. Now, in case of Gemini, Mithun Lagna, Venus rules your 5th house. It's a very important planet. It also rules your 12th house. And Venus is where? In the 12th house. So as soon as Venus exits the Aries zodiac sign, it walks into the territory which it likes the most. The Piscean territory, the 12th house territory. And it finds its own home, Taurus, there. That means it will be very comfortable spending money for itself. So will you. You might end up buying things for your family member. You might end up overspending for your own house. Maybe you'll go to buy one flower pot, and you will end up buying a whole lot of stuff. Nothing wrong in that. Just you have to see your pocket, and you have to calculate your expenses. 5th Lord is in 12th house, which also shows that you are going out for dinner, lunch, parties, and you are eating too much. That can affect your health. Control and manage that. Now, when 5th Lord is in 12th house, it also means that students who want to pursue their education abroad, especially in the Venusian field, like textile, in the textile industry or in the fashion industry, makeup industry, perfumes, chemical industry, something that is related to hotel management, culinary, food related things, something that involves beautification, Vastu Shastra, interior designing, something that is more connected to bed, something that is more connected to sleep, something that is more connected to resting, something that is more connected to your door, exit, locks, beautification of locks, all that. I'm just giving some random tips which is connected to the 12th house. Also, Venus in 12th house can trigger positive reaction for people who are involved in the pharmaceutical industry. Remember, Venus has Mrit Sanjeevani Vidya, Shukracharya. Now, when Venus goes in the 12th house, it starts aspecting the 6th house. But you won't see all this happening. Everything is behind the scene. Why? Venus is combust. Jupiter is present. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is your 7th Lord. That means this is going to create marriage-related issues for a lot of people. Business expenses will increase. You might end up spending money for your career. You may not even know it. That means the chance that financial fraud happens with you increases. So be careful there. Overall, this Venus transit in Gemini, especially for Gemini moon sign native, can be a transit which puts you into a state of utopia where you are trying to enjoy your life. Nothing wrong. Just ensure that you are being very practical, grounded and down to earth, and you will find yourself in a safe space. Donate some money for food and for education. Cancer ascendant. Now for Kark Lagna, Venus happens to be in the 11th house. It moves out of the 10th house. It moves into the 11th house. And 11th house is a better space for Venus compared to the 10th house. This Shukra aspects your 5th house. So it increases the efficiency. It gives you a chance of improving your source of income. It brings you people and you will have a people to people connect. You will feel the joy. You will feel the happiness. You will feel that you feel homely outside your home. That means you are meeting like-minded people. But someone in that group will take away the limelight, so don't be jealous. You are there to enjoy, not to create your presence. That should be your main aim. Now, Venus rules your 4th house. Venus rules your 11th house. When 4th Lord goes in the 11th house, you actually go out of home and you travel abroad. You travel with your friend for happiness. That means your happiness is outside. Your happiness is in earning money. Your happiness is in securing a job. All that will happen, but keep doing karma. The results may not be immediate, but the results will eventually come. After all, Jupiter is present there, which is your 9th Lord. So when your 9th Lord sits with your 4th Lord in the 11th house, it's called Bhagyodaya. Also, this means you can end up thinking about or even buying a vehicle. Remember, 2nd Lord Sun is also placed there. You might have or feel enough about the resources that you carry, that you have enough resources with you and you are able to use that resource to generate wealth. That means people who are into investment related business, people who are into buying things like buying company and or buying stuff and selling, like you go and buy a flat and then either put it on rent or you start selling that, you will see positive improvement in that angle. Real estate sector, anything that is related to UI, UX, user interface, designing, all that will see great boost. Freelancers will see great boost. People who are working from home, people who are housewives and trying to start a business from their own home, you will feel happy, confident, and you will get the support also from the family. You may have to kind of listen to the elders' advice. That means you may have to fine-tune your way ahead, but I think that's something that should be done. Nothing wrong in that, but your wishes and your wish fulfillment will happen, and sudden gains, that means a gain that you can't anticipate, may also happen. So for Cancer ascendant and moon sign, this is an exceptionally beautiful time. Chant Shri Suktam and thank Mahalakshmi for all the gifts that Ma gives you and to all of us. Leo ascendant. For Leo, Venus rules your 3rd house with Libra and 10th house with Taurus. This Venus goes into the 10th house. That means you want to do things. After all, this Venus is getting combusted by whom? You, your ascendant Lord. That means you will overpower your siblings, which can destroy the relationship between both of you. You can try to interfere in their life. Don't do that. Another thing, this also means that you are thinking too high about yourself. Maybe you are not calculating your abilities in a right manner. If you do that, this may create a downfall. This may create a problem where you won't understand and you will end up kind of destroying some already created setup, already perfect setup. So one advice, if something is running perfectly, don't touch it. Don't destroy that is already in process. Which means if you are into corporate sector, don't change anything. If you are into your own company, if something is working nicely, don't touch, let it move. Otherwise, career related hurdles will come. Your entire focus is on the 10th house. That means your ascendant Lord is sitting in the 10th house, means you want things to move in the right direction. You want things to move in, towards your career. Maybe you are willing or craving for that promotion or that designation or a particular job or a particular reply that you want to give to prove who you are, what is your worth. But where is Venus? Venus is combust. Your 3rd Lord is combust. Where is your willpower? Your willpower is being overshadowed by your ego. That means you need to improve the power of Jupiter, which is in the 10th house, and allow the month of May to pass and the June to come, because then Mars will be in Aries, Jupiter will be out of combustion, and this is a beautiful thing. So allow that change to happen and you will see that both Venus, Sun, Jupiter and Mercury combination will flourish your Taurus area, which is your career. Patience is needed. Unnecessary struggle, unnecessary trying to prove your point, having a feeling of jealousy, and your motivation of your karma is jealousy. That is something which can create more harm. And my suggestion will be that be more feminine, be more practical, be more creative rather than going ahead and having a head-on collision. I know Sun is very strong in the 10th house, but such a strong Sun can only destroy Venus, because Venus do not feel comfortable in the 10th house in spite of it being in its own zodiac sign. This means you are trying to challenge someone in their own home. You may actually lose that battle. This is the time for truce, balance, and this is the time to establish equilibrium. Now, in certain exceptions where a little force and little authority is needed to establish the balance, that's a different thing. But in general, the recommendation will be to show humbleness. Virgo. Now for Virgo ascendant, Venus rules your Dhanabhav, second house. Venus also rules your 9th house, your Bhagya. And the Bhagya Lord comes in the Bhagyasthan. In spite of it being combust, it will give you some solid support. Yes, when Venus is combust, you may not see that support. You may end up overspending. You may end up overlooking your resources. So you forgot that you have a property and you are more worried about the money. Somebody has to come and tell you. That means for financial management, you need support. In fact, for anything, you will need support. Do not be alone in this time period. Try to have a company. Try to share your thoughts with someone. A 9th house Venus is beautiful in giving you good luck, great material success, something that is exceptional. But then you have to be very careful in managing the energies, because you may completely get lost in the material world because Sun and Jupiter are present there. Suddenly you might get certain gains which you don't expect, and you might think that this is how it is going to be, especially if you are below 25 years of age. My recommendation will be, if you are gaining something, say a lot of money, a good job, save that major chunk of the money and try to invest it for something good. Especially if you want to buy a house, or if you want to do good things about your parents. Venus in the 9th house makes you very creative. So if you may plan to learn, you may plan to learn to sing, you may plan to learn a musical instrument, all that is good. But when you desire something, you need money for that. For a lot of people, the desire may be above their pay grade. That means you might desire something that you can't afford or buy, and the expense needed, or the mere thought of how much money will be outflowing if you take that path will stop you. That means it is going to impact your psyche a lot. This can motivate you to earn more, or can demotivate you depending upon your moon sign. So if your moon is positive, you will treat this as a motivation, as a challenge. But if your moon is afflicted, or if your Venus is afflicted, that means you might think a little on the lower side, you might feel a little sad, you might choose a much safer path and not taking any risk. Again, nothing wrong in that, but you have to ensure that while you are choosing the safer path, you should not choose a path that produces zero result or zero success. Just because you are threatened or you feel insecure, you are not even taking the first step. A lot of people will fail to take that first step. So the recommendation here will be courageous, be bold, focus on your dreams and take the first step with a lot of practicality. And maybe you need some suggestions, so you can talk to healers, doctors, astrologers, counselors, subject matter experts, your father, your mother, anybody whom you trust. That will give you an idea whether you are in the right track or not. Libra. Now in case of Libra, you will see that you are ruled by Venus. This Venus goes in your 8th house. Now being in the 8th house, Venus is in its own zodiac sign, but it's your ascendant lord going in the 8th house. So you are supposed to face the ups and downs. This might also mean that situation in the family life of your spouse, that means their parents and their relatives, can be a bit challenging and you may be needed there. This can also mean that you are looking for investments but you are not getting the right result. You need to wait for Jupiter to come out of combustion to balance out that financial aspect of life. Remember, all these three planets are aspecting the Scorpio, which is the second house. I have made a video on what is happening in the Scorpio zodiac sign. Do check that out, where I have explained how the planets in the 8th house is impacting the finances. That means you should focus more on your financial security. You should focus more about how to manage the business money. This might also mean that certain decisions taken by your business partner may affect your business adversely, and your money can be locked in an investment which you don't want to do. So whether you are going to buy a car, or you're going to buy a mobile, or even when you're going to set up a factory, or you want to buy a corporate office, be sure of what you're doing. One thing is scaling and your projection. Another thing is where you stand right now. Do not spend on the basis of assumptions. Now, from the career perspective, this can definitely create a little bit of up and down. Why? Because 11th Lord is making your Ascendant Lord go combust, but in the Ashtam Bhav. That means you are desperately trying to find a way out, maybe to find a job, maybe to solve a situation in the relationship. This is the time when you should be very polite and humble and try to find an equilibrium. Remember, when Libra Lord goes combust, equilibrium goes absent. And you are the one who is supposed to create that equilibrium by bringing the knowledge of Jupiter. What is Jupiter for you? Your 6th Lord. That means Jupiter is causing a Viparit Rajyog. We cannot ignore all these energy because they are sitting together. Which means that you may have to go against your nature to balance the situation. And maybe you will have to fulfill your duties or execute your duties at areas or towards people you hate. But if it is a duty, it's a duty. Especially in your corporate sector, you may be asked to work for someone or with someone you really don't want to work. And I'm not talking about any abuse, but I'm just talking about energy to energy conflicts that might happen. Try to be humble and see the bigger picture. Always see the next move 3-4 months down the line and then take that call. Take care of your health, especially if you're a diabetic person, and try to eat carefully. 8th house means you won't be able to see all the ups and downs. Things are happening and you're only going to see the effect of it. Don't try to find out the root cause at least now. Wait for a month and you will see things in a much clearer manner. This is the time to reap the benefits, not focus on the cause, but work for the effect. Scorpio. Now, if you're a Scorpio ascendant, your business is getting affected. But maybe your business is going international. Maybe you are going to invest money in your business to expand the business. So definitely resources are coming your way, investments are coming your way. People who want to get married may find a right opportunity, especially in the month of June, and this will create a new romantic and a new dynamics in relationship. But now bring Sun, bring Jupiter, bring Venus, and bring Mercury into this. If you combine all of this energy in the 7th house, you see how heavy the 7th house is, and it is impacting right your ascendant. Do watch my Scorpio video, impact on Scorpio video, which will tell you how your ascendant is impacted. But this means that 7th house energies are dominating. Listen to your life partner. The advice coming from the circumstance is much more important than the advice your gut feeling gives you at this point of time. Challenges in marriage can be countered by logical thinking and logically confronting the situation rather than trying to overpower the situation by your sheer brute strength. Sun do not function with power in the 7th house. You should remember that. 7th house is a territory of Venus and Saturn. Neither Mercury and nor Sun is powerful in that house. When I say powerful, I say relative power. The true power lies in your horoscope. For that, you have to analyze your chart. But in general, if you see, if Sun has to perform, it is more democratic in nature, which means you will have to be more inclusive. If you are trying to be selfish at this point of time, you will only see hurdles. People involved in various sectors of business, banking and finance, if you are involved into Venusian sectors, if you are involved into lighting, decorative lighting, anything that is connected to mass media, anything that is connected to right from pencil to camera, you will see great benefits. But this only shows that you have taken a certain move. The results will come in the future. So you are preparing for a better future. Think about it. Mars will go to Aries zodiac sign and it will create much more positive vibrations. Allow the energies to settle a bit and you will see that you will win the competition, but with grace, humbleness and lot of finesse. Sagittarius. Now in case of Sagittarius, if you see, Venus is your 11th lord. It comes in the 6th house. This is a very good transit, especially when your ascendant lord and your 9th lord is placed in the 6th house. Only it means is that hurdles will come. Things will not be comfortable, but you need to keep pushing forward. You need to keep moving. You need to keep thinking about the grand plan. And you will see when your ascendant and 9th lord are together in the prarabdha karma, you will see that your income will be used to cancel the debts. That means you will earn enough to cancel the debt, to clear your duties, but maybe not enough to create a lot of savings. That means your operating cost is increasing if you are running a business, but maybe this is for a bright future. After all, 9th lord is present there. That means you're not wasting the money. This is for future investment. And Venus coming in the 6th house also creates a silent cure of underlying diseases. Going holistic, going Ayurvedic, going softer, not aggressive, is the right tone for Sagittarius ascendant and Sagittarius moon sign. This can create certain separation, certain problem in your relationship, but the recommendation will be that does not matter what age you are in. If you are in a relationship, try to work with your life partner, try to build a career with your life partner, something. It can be a simple gardening and thinking it is as a career, or actually building an empire. Both will work and it will create a very good atmosphere. And instead of competing with each other, you together as a unit now compete with the world. And that is where the ascendant and the 9th lord will come into play. When Upchai lord comes in the Upchai house, it shows that you are working with free will. But because Venus is combust, it means that destiny has something else for you. So the recommendation here will be keep moving, keep walking, because something big waits for Sagittarius ascendant. One recommendation: serve the poor, feed the poor, and try to educate someone. Capricorn. Now in case of Capricorn, if you observe, Venus is a very important planet. It rules your 10th house with Libra. It rules your 5th house with Taurus, and Venus will be in the 5th house, by the way. So this will create a situation where you would want to learn, you would want to acquire certification, you would want to increase your knowledge, because you might feel that you know less. And because you know less, someone might take over your position. You will feel insecure, and to secure yourself, you will try to communicate with a lot of people. You will try to directly or indirectly ask for advices. Maybe you are right or wrong. So this can, kind of play with your emotion and play with your confidence, because Sun is the one dominating at this point. What is Sun? Your 8th lord. That means you are thinking about uncertainties that may not actually occur in life. And thus uncertainties which will actually occur, you are unprepared for. So what should you do? Follow the advice of Saturn. Saturn is in the 2nd house in Purva Bhadrapada. A 2nd house Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada, and if you want to know more about that, you can watch my video of Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada for all ascendants. The link is in the description box below. One thing you will have to understand that this is the time to go minimalistic and declutter your life. Eat light and absorb what is positive and reject what is negative. By the month of June, you will see all positive planets will cluster in your 5th house, which is your Purva Punya. which means something very auspicious will happen. And this suddenness is actually positive, but you may take it as a negative thing. Because it is aspecting the 11th house, you have to understand that you may be insecure about your money, and you may be insecure about your job, you may be insecure about your own efficiency in life, and even if you're not earning, you may be insecure how people will think about you. All your decision will be based on this one factor of life. A fear that is like a churning feeling in the stomach. So what should you do? Meditate, focus on what is right or wrong, focus on your core strength, and work on your weakness. This is the only way to give yourself a confidence, because you will be doing something. But if you sit, think and not act, this is going to create anxiety, unnecessary anxiety. Venus is a hidden healing factor in all the transit that is happening right now. If you don't follow this correctly, if you try to follow the path of Surya, nothing wrong, but then it will create uncertainty in love and relationships. People who are in some troubled marriage or troubled relationship may get more confused. Their 5th house, which is their love and romance, their appetite to handle all the ups and downs of life and their bond towards each other, this may get broken because of sudden ups and downs, sudden events in partner's life. Say you were just about to, understand each other, and suddenly one partner has to go abroad for the career. These kind of small to big events might happen. Obviously, it depends upon your chart. This is just a YouTube video. Please take it on a very generic sense. I'm trying to explain you the flow. It is not possible to talk about every horoscope. But at least with respect to one ascendant or moon sign, I can pinpoint the flow, the direction, and your direction will be towards 5th house. This means a lot of couples who are trying for childbirth may also see some sudden positivity coming your way and healing energies coming your way. Aquarius. Now for Aquarius, Venus rules your 9th house, Venus rules your 4th house. Venus goes in the 4th house. So definitely this is going to give you some relief when you are thinking about the health of your mother. This is going to give you relief, but a relief which you can't enjoy. Because when we are talking about Venus, we are talking about improving the 4th house energy, and Venus is completely okay with the 4th house. It is more about your good night's sleep. It is more about the peace of mind. It is more about handling the situation in a softer manner. It is more about traveling for your own desire, for your own happiness and for your own peace of mind. It's like you trying to take a break from life, from all the hard work, from all the hustle and bustle. You just want to shut down the noise that is running around you. If you really want to do that, then do it according to the situation you are in. Your desire should be very practical. Say you are supposed to be, say, in your office. There's a lot of work going on, but you want a break. That's not possible. Create a situation that is possible for you. Maybe you go for a meditation. Maybe you are giving half an hour to yourself. Maybe you are enjoying a good music. Try to be comfortable the way you are by adapting to the situation. Otherwise, the situation will overwhelm you. This might mean that you will be needed more in your home, and this can disturb the marital life, because your 7th lord is the one making your 4th lord go combust. Problems in marriage or situation or events happening with your husband or in marriage may actually give you a little bit of trouble. So what should you do? Balance your energies in such a manner that you are thinking on the positive note. Being optimistic is it's a right way to handle everything that is happening around you. Pisces. For Pisces, Venus rules your 3rd house and Venus rules your 8th house. Now you see, although Venus gets exalted on your ascendant, the nature of Venusian zodiac is falling in the 8th and then 8th from 8th, and 8th lord is now Bhavad Bhavam. 8th lord is falling in the 3rd house, which shows that you will bring the necessary changes and you will be feeling the need of transformation. but maybe the weight of responsibilities will not allow you to take that call. This can create a little bit of frustration, a kind of a claustrophobia, where you would want to move but you can't. Your ascendant lord is also combust. That means prarabdha karma is going to overpower. What you should do? This is the time to serve the society. This is the time to heal people. This is the time to focus on your duties and responsibility and first fulfill your promises before you go and do something for yourself. Before you bring transformation, create a platform so that the transformation or life after that transformation is sustainable and not something that is very imaginary. Same thing will happen with your relationships. Now, when 6th Lord and 8th Lord are kind of coming together in the 3rd house, this means that you need to be careful because you can commit mistakes, you may overlook few things, and combine your ascendant lord, you have to take care of your health. Relationship with your siblings, especially your sisters, can go sour, this can go bad, or they may need your presence and you may have to forget everything about you and be there and do something. Do your duty because this is a very duty-bound transit for Pisces ascendant and even Pisces moon sign. Focusing on the health means yoga, pranayam, eating the right diet, taking control of your sleep posture, taking control of your spinal posture, doing the yoga, and also donating food. One more thing, if you're traveling, there may be damages to your car, or you may have this sudden feeling to buy a very nice gorgeous bike or a nice car, or even spend something on traveling. Maybe you want to travel to a nice destination, have a fine dining. Everything is fine as long as you are practical and you know that you're not taking loans for that. So don't fulfill your desire on the basis of EMIs and loans, at least for this period, unless it's something that you need to run the business or if it is something that is essential. Overall, it's a mixed transit. You watch my video about Sun transit in Taurus and you also watch my video about what is happening in the sign of Scorpio. Both videos, link of that video is in the description box below. It will give you a comprehensive idea about every single planet that are affecting the Taurus area of life.